Today's episode is a triple salute. Dora's Rainforest Animal Rescues for an hour and a half/90 minutes. Number 2, Who Goes There? And front page news. First, I'm going to salute on Dora's Rainforest Animal Rescues for an hour and a half/90 minutes. Number 2, Enjoy. Dora's Rainforest Animal Rescues for an hour and a half/90 minutes. Number 2, Wow, this hour and a half/90 minute chapter rocks. This 90 minutes, hour and a half chapter starts Dora is helping so many animals in the rainforest, like the quikita bird, crocodiles, sloths, and more. Enjoy this 90 minutes, hour and a half long Dora compilation. Do you know who likes this hour and a half/90 minute chapter? Smurflily. She likes this 90 minutes, hour and a half. And do you know who hates this 90 minutes, hour and a half? All characters from Doc McStuffins. They want to kill the characters. What? They should be punished for what they did. So Dora's Rainforest Animal Rescues for an hour and a half/90 minutes. Number 2 rocks. And so does Annie Einstein. The problem solver sucks. End of salute 1. Next, I'm going to salute on Who Goes There. Enjoy. Who Goes There? Wow, this episode from the Backyardigans rocks. Let me tell you the reasons why I like this episode in my opinion. The episode starts with Tyrone in the backyard wearing a blue hat and holding a flashlight. He introduces himself to the viewer and explains that today is his first day as the night guard at the local art museum. He then starts singing Who Goes There? The backyard transforms into the inside of an art museum. Tasha walks over to Tyrone and introduces herself as the museum's curator while showing him the exhibits. They then walk into a room with an easel holding a blank canvas. Tasha tells Tyrone that he must keep the room extra clean since it will be a new exhibit. Tyrone accepts Tasha's information while she leaves the building. Tyrone then sings the second verse of Who Goes There while he makes his rounds. After finishing the verse, he sits in a wooden chair and falls asleep. Meanwhile, a statue of a military general named General Pablo opens its eyes and starts running toward the oil painting room. He tells a painting of a woman holding an umbrella named Lady Uniqua that it is time. The character in the painting jumps out of it, becoming a 3D living being. The two walk into the Greek art room and tell a painting on a vase named Osticles that it is time. The figure on the vase becomes 3D, too. Osticles recites a poem about how nighttime is better than daytime because the art gets to play during night hours. Pablo and Uniqua applaud. They sing Tired of Hanging Around and Uniqua tells Pablo he is it and they all begin playing tag. Then there was trouble. Pablo accidentally stumbles into a sarcophagus, causing the others to tip over like dominoes. Then an alarm went off, waking up Tyrone while Uniqua, Pablo, and Austin hurry to push the tombs back up. Tyrone believed that a thief had entered the museum and began searching with his flashlight. Then he arrived at the Egyptian room and found the art posing like statues, realizes his mistake and walks out of the room. The art continues their game of tag until Tyrone hears them laughing and searches for them. The three then hop into a painting of a flower garden. It tips in the same direction to create a thud noise as they hide in the bush to the left. Just when Tyrone runs past them, Osticles begins to sneeze and recites another poem about how flowers make him do so. The painting tips to the right, creating another thud noise as the trio runs to another bush. But the art realizes that the other bush has flowers, too. Uniqua sticks her fingers up his nose to prevent him from sneezing. Tyrone rushes back to the painting and then he was surprised because he thought they were on the other side of the painting but he didn't give it any importance. Then there was trouble. Osticles sneezes and Tyrone responds to him, Gesundheit. And Osticles thanks him and Tyrone catches the art. Realizing they are alive, the trio of art jumps out of the painting and continues their game of tag, with Tyrone being it. At that moment Tyrone realized what was happening. There were none thief in the museum. The art was loose so he went after them while they were singing the art is on the loose. Uniqua, Pablo, and Osticles jump into a desert painting with horses. But Tyrone grabs Osticles' tail, causing him to jump in too. Uniqua, Pablo, and Osticles jump onto a horse and out of the painting. Tyrone jumps on another horse and jumps out. 2. The art characters get off their horse and enter the room reserved for the new exhibit. Tyrone remembers what Tasha told him about keeping the room extra clean and runs inside an alarm. Tyrone tells the art to stop, but they taunt him, so Tyrone closes the door so they won't escape. But then the art jumps into the blank canvas, and while they gloat, Tyrone picks up a paintbrush and a paint palette. Tyrone splats paint onto the canvas, trying to paint the art. The trio tries to take cover but realizes there's nowhere to hide since the canvas is blank. They then all sing the splatter paint flamenco. After the song, Tyrone gives up because they are too good for him and will be fired because the museum is a mess. The art jumps out of the canvas and tells him they are done playing and will help clean up before morning. Just when Tyrone and the art trio finish cleaning the museum, they hear Tasha's voice. Tyrone greets her and tells her that the museum is pretty much how she left it. Tasha then notices the door to the new exhibit was left open and discovers the splatted painting. Tasha is astonished and angrily asks Tyrone if he did the painting. Tyrone answers yes. Sadly, Tasha tells him that the painting is beautiful and she will hang it up in the museum. Tyrone is fascinated and surprised because he thought she would surely fire him. The art runs over to him and congratulates Tyrone. Tasha screams and asks Tyrone about the art of talking. Tyrone tells her that he realized museum exhibits come alive at night to play games. Osticles recites a poem about strange things in the museum at night, but the art always returns to their places when the daylight comes. Uniqua invites them all over for tea and crumpets at her house as the museum transforms back into the backyard. They sing the end song and enter Uniqua's house. Tyrone opens the previously closed door and exclaims, "Who goes there?" Case closed. And that's how the episode is. Anyways, who goes there rocks. And so does Smurfoo. Sleuth or consequences sucks. End of salute 2. Now I'll salute on front page news. Enjoy. Front page news. Wow, this episode from the Backyardigans rocks. Here are the reasons why I like this episode in my opinion. This episode starts Tasha is in the backyard wearing a blue hat with a red flower pinned to it. She holds a camera and asks the viewer to say cheese before snapping a photo and introducing herself as photographer Tasha, who takes photos for the Bigopolis Big News newspaper. Tasha sings the song I've Got a Secret Identity as she explains that she is not an ordinary photographer. She is also a superhero named Super Snap, who can run at super speed, but cannot reveal this secret identity. The backyard transforms into the city of Bigopolis. Tasha walks into a tall building, where she enters a room. She greets her boss, newspaper editor Pablo, but he is angry. He explains to Tasha that the newspaper needs a picture for its front page story. He tells her he tried to draw one himself, but it did not look like the real thing. He holds a poorly drawn picture of a pink stick figure. Pablo and Tasha sing front page news as Tasha tries to persuade her boss to let her take the photo he wants. The phone rings, and someone tells Pablo that a giant robot is attacking the city. Tasha rushes outside and sees the giant robot. Captain Bubble, Tyrone, traps the robot in a large bubble. Tasha is about to photograph Captain Bubble in front of the robot when the robot attempts to escape. He repeatedly chants cheese. Tasha turns into Super Snap and runs around the robot so quickly that a tornado forms and blows the gigantic robot away. Super Snap turns back into Tasha and returns to the tall building and sadly tells Pablo that she cannot take a photo of the robot since Super Snap, who fought the robot, was too fast to take an image of. Pablo gets another call and tells his employee that Bug Girl, Uniqua, is to fight the robot since he has popped Captain Bubble's bubble and has returned to Bigopolis. Tasha walks over to Bug Girl, who can perform actions bugs can perform. Tasha and Uniqua begin singing Bug Girl as Bug Girl picks up the giant robot with her super strength. The robot crashes down. Tasha transforms into Super Snap for a second time and places 2 cards under the robot's feet before she and Bug Girl push the robot away. Super Snap turns back into Tasha, walks back inside the tall building, and tells Pablo that she cannot retake a photo for him. Pablo is informed that the robot has returned and that Captain Bubble and Bug Girl are about to fight him. Tasha runs outside to see Captain Bubble trapping the robot inside a wall of bubbles. She is about to take a picture when the robot breaks the barrier. Bug Girl and Captain Bubble hear the robot saying cheese. The characters begin singing cheese, cheese as they bring the robot cheese, thinking he wants it. The robot refuses all the cheese they give to him. Tasha turns into Super Snap and suggests that the robot might say cheese because he wants his picture taken. She grabs her camera and takes a photo. The robot poses. She takes multiple pictures of him as Pablo walks out of his building. Super Snap reveals that she is photographer Tasha and could not take a picture of the superheroes because she was fighting the robot with them. Tasha sets the timer on her camera and turns into Super Snap. The superheroes and Pablo pose alongside the giant robot as the scene switches to an up-close shot of the new newspaper. Pablo mentions that there is another problem. The heroes ask if he means a giant spider, a giant asteroid, or a giant dinosaur. Pablo's stomach rumbles as he replies, "Nope, I'm starving." Tasha invites everyone to Unique's house and says, "I'll get a snack and a snap." As Bigopolis transforms back into the backyard, and Bug Girl and Captain Bubble transform back into Uniqua and Tyrone. Afterwards, the characters sing the end song and rush into Uniqua's house for a snack. Tasha opens the door and asks the viewer, "Can you guess what snack we're having?" Tasha and her friends answer, "Cheese," before reclosing the door. And that's how the episode goes. So, front page news rocks. And so does Who Goes There. Blossom Goes Wild sucks. End of triple salute.